Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 431. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
What's up, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero,
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale,
How you doing? How you doing?
Brett Murdoch,
What up, people?
and Brian Manjoma.
Hey, people.
All right, we're back with another one. Very slow week. Not a lot happened. By the way, no Chris action. They're apparently having some thunderstorms down there in Austin. So, yeah, he has to play it safe, obviously. So, he may show up, he may not show up. We shall see, Hope everybody's been having a good time playing some games. Some games are actually coming out, which is very exciting. Very good. We haven't had too many of those this generation. But yeah, let me see what's in it.
Jedi Survivor comes out next week, right?
Next week,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
it's coming.
Survivor comes out.
So I just beat Wulong.
What'd you think?
It was dope. It fucking it's actually really funny because I was having some problems with it because the game is hard as sin. It's all the bullshittery of Ninja Gaiden mixed with all the pain in the assery of a Souls game, and there's a lot of deflecting. And like for a minute there, I was kind of like, man, this game is fucking wearing on me. I am just corpse dragging my way through this thing. And then the funniest thing happened. I got good again. I have no idea what happened. All of a sudden, I went in one day and I'm fighting bosses and I'm just like parry, 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 parry. And they're coming at you. They come at you. They swing like hit, wait, pause, hit. And I'm deflecting every one of these motherfuckers. I have no idea what happened other than that. Eventually I just internalized that shit. And I'm like, apparently I can parry now. So I'm really curious to go see if I can parry in other games.
You got the glow. That's right.
You got the glow.
That's awesome, man. So yeah, like I said, not a lot happened, but we got some stories that are mildly interesting. First one here we have is Sega confirms they're buying the Angry Birds studio for $776 million.
That was ridiculous. I could not believe that shit.
They said they want to strengthen their mobile gaming plans.
Who's still playing that game? Like, even paying for it, I should say, because there's so many of them, and mostly everybody that I know ever played it has a copy.
Yeah, but yeah, they bought the Angry Bird. Yeah, Rovio. They bought Rovio Entertainment. For some reason, I thought Rovio Entertainment was owned by somebody else. Guess not.
They were for a bit.
Oh, wait a minute. Does that mean that they also have rights to the movies? Because remember, they did the Angry Birds 1 and 2, and that did pretty well.
Yeah, they did pretty decent.
That I didn't know they had two movies.
Yeah,
they made two movies.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I don't know what this exactly means. It's just anything mobile related, like who cares? But it's just interesting to see Sega buying a company.
Angry Birds is like the Crash Bandicoot franchise. There was a point that it just stopped meaning anything.
Yeah.
So, and it kept getting hopped around. In fact, the studio was like, when they originally made it, they're like, yeah, we're not going to try to make any other games. This is what we did.
Yeah. So by the way, this is Sega plans to do it. So it hasn't, obviously nothing been confirmed. But yeah, it says they're. But obviously, since there's a mobile company they bought, everybody's going crazy. Like, what classic Sega games are going to become to mobile? Like, okay,
no, it has nothing to do with mobile.
No.
They want that Angry Birds franchise, and it got cheap enough for them to buy it.
Yeah,
isn't this funny? It's like first we saw the whole gobbling up with the console publishers of games and stuff, and then now it's like let's gobble up all the mobile ones. It's like they're like, Microsoft buying all this, and you got Sony grabbing some. Now you got Sega. It's like everybody's trying to control that market now.
Yeah, I mean that is the biggest segment in games, so makes sense. Like most of gaming's revenue comes from mobile games.
Yeah, so, as much of a prick move it was for that dude over at the BlizzCon to say, "You have a phone." Yeah, he's right though. Everybody does it. It's not, the real question is how many actually want a game on the phone.
Well, normies play on phones, Well,
those type of things, Angry Birds, because that's easy. That's the Diablo thing. That's what frustrated people. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, you're right. Those type of people don't want to play no fucking mobile games.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's funny, Adam. Every time, they're used to it now. But like my niece and nephew, they get up, they look, they grab my phone, like, oh, what games do you have? Like, I have fucking games on my phone. You know?
Here's something game related with this. So, I watched that Tetris movie.
Yeah.
Right? That was surprisingly very good. Very good. I mean, it was dark, and that wasn't even including that other dark side of the guy killing his family and stuff. That wasn't even mentioned. So anyway, I was like, you know what? Let me whip out my old Game Boy. So I got my Game Boy, my 1989 one out. I started playing some Tetris. My son was like, "Oh, this is good." I was like, you know what? They got to make a newer version. I can't find a newer version anywhere, right? So I said, maybe on my phone. So then it said official Tetris, with the registered R and whole thing. Okay, download it. We're playing it. He's getting the hang of it. And all these ads were popping. And I was like, this is fucking annoying. All right, how much is this game? You know how much that Tetris game is?
What, $15?
Nope. $0. You can't buy it.
Oh, wow.
They only sell you, you get 30 days of ad free for $3, $2.99. But you can't buy this game.
That's crazy.
And that is the problem with free to play. When people are like, oh, it's free to play, it's all a scam, because they don't want to sell you the game, because they want you to just keep giving them money somehow. So this is how this one's doing it. They're going to sprinkle all these ads. Oh, you don't want the ads? You got to pay this. And I tried to see if there's like a permanent the elimination ads. No. And I was, this is for Tetris. Bullshit.
That's how they get you, man.
And then I was like, I think I own a Tetris. And I do. There was an Ubisoft one. So I went into my app store and I found it. Go to play it. It's like, nope, can't play it because they don't have the rights to it anymore. Ubisoft lost the rights. Now it's some other company, that one that's doing that one. So then it voids that out. And I was like, you see, this is another reason why it's important to just stick with PC for a lot of these things. Because look at that. Even your favorite phone apps and games, they could just remove them or to turn them off, like that one. I had nothing wrong with that Tetris from Ubisoft. It was fine. I thought it was still going to work. Nope, they lost the license. You can't play. Too bad.
Well, that's the way it goes. So, especially with the Tetris franchise, a lot of companies have had the rights to do Tetris games, and when that license runs out, there's no more. But they pull it off the stores.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I own it already. I remember buying it a long time ago, so I figured I'd just re-download it. I'm an owner.
You don't own it.
No, I don't.
as much as these companies say that you own something, you don't own it. Then they can just pull it off a store and not give you any access to those things.
Yeah, that's it.
Lots of people own that Ninja Turtles game that Ubisoft put out about 10 years ago, but you can't download it again.
They couldn't re-download that one?
No, that's not one of the ones that you can't re-download. Same thing with Scott Pilgrim, as I remember.
Yeah.
But that one came back eventually. I don't know. They worked out a deal.
Yeah, they renewed the license, and they got they renewed the license. They put it out again.
But man, I was so frustrated with that shit, and then I'll get to the topic later about free to play during what I heard today from my favorite company, Ubisoft.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
No, Ubisoft.
Did you guys know that Rovio Entertainment is from Finland?
Yes, they are.
From fucking Finland.
So yeah,
yep.
I didn't.
Only good thing that came out of Finland is Children of Bodom, right, Manny?
Well,
yep. a lot of music. The music from Finland is really good in general.
Yeah, Children of Bodom.
Hey! What about Seasonal Depression, Eternal Darkness, and Steamed Fish?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, the Scandinavian countries, man.
Yeah, the creator of Angry Birds is from Finland.
What happened to Flappy Birds? Remember that one? That was fun.
He pulled it off.
Yeah, because he made some money or something, right? And he said, "I'm not doing this anymore."
He got frustrated with I like to say he got frustrated with him making money.
Yeah, I remember there was some. Yeah, he started posting some shit, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm out." And now you got all these clones.
He could have just kept it there and just said, just collected the money.
I mean, I just wonder why more people don't do that. Like, he's got more money than God at this point. Why does he have to give a fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I don't know. He just sort of got weirded out by all the attention that he was getting. Some people are like that. I wouldn't want it either.
I wouldn't want it either, man. I'd sell that shit so fast it would make your head spin.
It was a mix of things, and that also included all the threats against him for making a game so addictive people couldn't quit.
Oh, shit.
So he couldn't handle the mental pressure of that, which, again, I don't blame him.
Well, at that point, like, you're holding all the chips. Why not cash out? Like, I realize that there are people who want to make millions of dollars, be wildly successful, and then for some ungodly reason go work more. But, like, when you're holding all those chips, with like the iron is red hot. That like if you're getting death threats for how successful your game is, that iron is fucking red hot. It is time to punch that fucking ticket and go live in a tropical. Go buy an island or some shit, man. Like,
hey, man,
why would you sit there and be like, I'm gonna fuck with this further? Why?
Hey, Notch did it. He just walked away from all of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Notch has that shit right. He has more money than he could ever spend. And when you know what, I'm done arguing with people on the internet. I'm just gonna fuck off now. I mean, that's what we all say we would do, and then for some reason we act shocked when people do it.
Yeah, it's like, they actually did it. Yeah, you're right. It's like, if I made like what? How much money did Notch have? Like $200 million? Probably more than that.
Wasn't it over $1 billion?
Over $1 billion. I'd be like, fuck this. I'm buying me a condo in fucking Manhattan, and I'm done. I'm just gonna write my fucking novels, and I'll be happy for the rest of my life. You know. And delete Twitter real fast, you know. I would be so gone from social media, bro. You don't even know.
What he did though is like, you know, he bought a really fancy house in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
But he ended up but he sort of ended up being lonely because he didn't have the urge to sort of make things anymore because he essentially reached the precipice of what he wanted to do. So what happens when the struggle's over? You know?
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing with
maybe he should have kept talking shit on Twitter then.
Yeah, maybe he should have.
Like you see these athletes and they retire. It's like, oh, he's older, he's retired. But when you hear their age, you're like 33, 34. Then what?
Yeah,
they got all the money
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan did all that amazing stuff in his like 20s. And what was he? What was it? He reached his 30s, and that's where when he retired, right? Or 40s?
38.
38. So he was almost 40 years old. So yeah, still fucking young as hell.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. Yes.
Michael Jordan.
It's always that pause. Michael Jordan. Yes.
Or when they couldn't get the rights to Michael Jordan, be like the roster guard.
Yeah, the right. You mean it on BHM? Oh man! All right. Anyway, you guys have anything else you want to say about the Sega Rovio thing?
I hope it's fake. I hope
it's fake.
I hope it's not true, and they come out and says we would never buy a.
Yeah, no, it's not a rumor. It's happening. Or they're interested.
They're interested. That's what I'm saying. It could be an interest.
They're like, oh, you're about as much as Sega, as much as we can afford. Maybe we'll buy you.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Like, what's almost $800 million? What other studio or game developer do you think they could buy with that money? Probably some big ones and do something amazing that's relevant.
Well, big. I guess it depends on what you mean by big.
I was about to say that sounds like a small studio that way.
No. For almost not that one. I'm talking about like, let's say if there's a certain game out there that's not gobbled up already from one of the big boys that could find a home.
You could probably get a Moon Studio.
There you go. Something, and then they got some quality, and it's like there you go. As opposed to spending all that on Angry Birds, like maybe they know something we don't. Maybe it's still generating and printing money. Maybe people still are buying it.
They do
maybe in Japan it's still doing well. Who knows?
Yeah. Remember they did
all those tie-ins. Yeah, they did the Star Wars stuff. Yeah,
they did the Star Wars one.
But
then you have to share the money with Disney and do that. No one wants to share money,
especially not with Disney. By the way, you guys probably knew this, but I didn't know this. Apparently, Sega's parent company is called Sega Sammy Holdings.
Yep. You remember? By the way, again, they merge. That's what Japanese do. They merge.
Yeah, they merged with Sega Sammy.
They merged with Sammy. Yeah.
With Sammy.
Yep.
Sammy is the same company that did Guilty Gear.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, they published Guilty Gear, so they had the rights. So officially, when they came out, like I forgot. I think Arc System Works got the rights back. But that's the whole reason why they couldn't make any more Guilty Gear games, and they made Blaze Blue because when they merged with Sega, all that stuff happened.
Yeah, Sega does all the Yakuza stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
They also own Atlas, by the way, too.
Yeah, the Atlas. That was a big one too.
All right, good stuff. All right, what else are we talking about? All right, Adam, this is your time right now to shine, man. The Division Day. So there was a bunch of announcements. I guess this was a live stream, right? That they held.
Yeah, it was a live.
So I'll just let you, take over. Tell us what you saw and what you thought of it.
So there's 3 big points that they wanted to talk about. One, year 5 for Division 2 going forward, and they broke it down. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with it, but the key point is that they are going to keep making seasons going into year 5 for Division 2. So they're going to keep milking this up, but it's not really milking it up. It's just they don't know what else to do with the franchise. That's the problem, because there is no Division 3 in development. That's really what people were hoping for. Because, and I'll get to the other 2 parts that they announced, which is a pain in the ass because there's issues. But anyway, year 5 is coming. One of the main takeaways from it also is that there's a new mode that's going to be in there, and it's like a training mode. Sort of looks like a horde the way they described it.
Okay.
Where you go into this room and you can get your buddies. You can do a solo co-op and different enemy types and stuff. But it's training, but it looked like a horde type thing. But they didn't show much. It was more like a video package, CG stuff. But the one that really stood out was said toward the winter. It says you're going to go back to New York during the holiday season.
Oh, shit.
So then I'm thinking they're either going to put snow all over Warlords of New York, or they're going to combine the Division 1 into it. Because remember, that was a different part of town than Warlords. It was downtown, and then now it's more midtown and up. And they're just going to use those assets. So they're like, hey, we have this. Let's put all that back in, and that's what people want to play. And we'll see where that goes. And they're going to have more manhunts, more gear, blah, blah, blah. So that's it. Year 5. That stuff I'm actually excited for because I just like all that type of stuff. But Heartland, which is their free-to-play, that's a trigger right there, right? That's coming to all platforms. And they actually showed gameplay. And they showed the story and how this is going to work. And I was turned off. A lot of people were turned off. I knew. All right, so we didn't really play much of Survival. Do you remember that? Survival was one of the expansions that it was like a winter. You had no gear. You were dropped in like Central Park, whatever. And you had to go find gear and run around canisters to get heat so that we could warm. It's that. It's more of a survival. People that are into that or into when Broke Point tried to do it. Remember? Well, that's where they're leaning hard on it with this. So your character will get hungry, need warmth, you'll collect gear, you need to craft certain items. You want to go to certain areas, you don't have the right resources, craft it, trade it with a friend or a vendor. You're doing all those type of things. Right, the weather changes and things like that. So they pretty much made a game around survival. Now, I don't know many people that were into it, and even till this day, because there was some stuff that I wanted to do. A buddy was like, "Oh, let's play it," and we were sitting in the lobby for a long ass time to the point we just gave up. Nobody's playing, and that was only on Division 1. They never brought it to Division 2. So, what would you think there? It's like, well, I guess there's no interest, right? If there's no interest, then why are you gonna do it? Well, they're making a whole game around it, but it's a free to play, which also tells me they're probably not sure if they could have sold it. Maybe nobody would buy it, but they gave no date. They're like, oh, we're gonna do this open testing and this beta. We'll let you know more in the summertime. No date. Right, and then there was another one. I'm blanking on the name. Was it? I should have wrote it down. But anyway, the reason why I'm blanking on it because it's a mobile game. I don't play fucking mobile games. Once they said the Division Mobile, I already zoned out. That's not my thing. I don't like any of these mobile games. And again,
not Heartland. Is that it?
Heartland's the one we just said. That's the free to play. That's on all platforms. But there's one that's just for mobile.
Resurgence.
There you go. That's just for mobile. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm not playing games on my phone. I got a Steam Deck. I don't need that shit. And I bet you they'll try to get it on it. But you know what? Don't need it because then Heartland over there, and I don't need that shit either because I got Division 1 and 2 working. So but it was upsetting. It was upsetting because even with those two versions, even though I learned more about Heartland, and now I'm really not that interested because I was like, oh, it's PvPE. I was like, Is it divided? No. You'll roam around the area, and just like in the Dark Zone, you'll come across players and you fight them, but then you also come across AI enemies and you'll fight them as well. And that's the way that's going to pan out. Plus, add the survival element. If you're into that type of stuff, survival games, this is worth checking out. But I checked out in another way because I'm just not interested in spending a bunch of time trying to find some duct tape to fit my boots so I can go and navigate through a certain area. It's like no, I don't care. And then they show that they're releasing figgies. I got a lot of figures, and then they announced that they're making a line of figures, and you can go to a shop, Ubisoft shop. They didn't say if it's going to be in retails, but they're going to have it. And of course, the book is out, the audio book. They didn't say anything about the Netflix movie that Jake Gyllenhaal signed off that he's going to be.
Yeah, that's right. I always forgot about that shit.
Everybody, they forgot too because they didn't bring it up. That's what everybody was waiting for. It was like, all right, good, give us the updates. We wanted these updates. Also, we were hoping for Division 3. Hey, listen, we can't talk about it now, but at least say it's planned. Say something like what happened with EA and Skate. Remember with Skate?
Yeah.
They were like, hey, we're going to make no date, nothing. Just know that we agreed in the boardroom, whatever. We're going to nothing. Because we know that the Massive, which is a studio that works for Division, we know that they're busy doing Avatar, the game, and they're busy doing that Star Wars open, built just like the Division, but installed. They're working on that, the main team. These are all sub teams and other teams that have helped out with Division over the years. Heartland are the guys that the multi PvP stuff for Division 1 and some of Division 2. And so it's that team that's focusing on all of this, and doing this one. So it's still not the original team doing it, the studio. They're all focused on other projects, which tells me, and then once they said, oh, this is full year 5 for Division 2, and we got all this, I was like, I don't know if we'll ever get a Division. They're going to try to, because the sad truth is, I think if Heartland fails, if no one jumps in, if that mobile one doesn't do well, they're going to consider this dead in the water this side. Oh, and the last part, because I know some people may get excited, Sam Fisher is going to make an appearance, but not in his character, more like his gear. That's everything. Remember when we were playing?
A tease.
Well,
Remember when?
What a way to disappoint you in like 3 different types of ways.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, and for you Splinter Cell guy, there's going to be a campaign
tease.
No, nothing, no, because they said that there's a campaign story that's coming to season 5. So it was like, oh, this is it, and then it's going to link it, and they sort of did that with Wildlands because remember they did add Sam Fisher and Wild, and there was those missions and stuff. Well, great missions. He was in it. So we're like, oh, they're going to do in Division. No. It's going to be like when we played during that time for Resident Evil and we were getting like loot crates and we got some of the gear. Remember? The outfits. It's that. You can pick up like the glasses and some of Sam Fisher's gear. And then they'll probably try to sell it to you. But no, he's not actually in the game and it's not going to be a part of the campaign story. It's just those, accessories and stuff. So,
you've had the Steam Deck for what, several months now?
Since launch.
Several months now.
Oh, it's over a year. Been done over a year.
I just, something just clicked. You have not talked about playing the Division 2 on the Steam Deck. What's been going on? It's not available.
It just came out about like 2-3 months ago because it was exclusive to Epic. That was the thing.
Oh, that's right.
That was the big hoopla when Epic started grabbing. They did that with Borderlands 3 and a bunch of other ones where they were like, "Oh no, we're getting time exclusive." How long? A few years. We'll let you know. And then Ubisoft went hard with their Uplay, and they started pulling their games from Steam, and it was a mess. So recently, they just They put Division 2 on there. They put so the other ones, Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs jumped up on there. Legions, the most recent one.
These
Wildlands broke point. I'm gonna keep calling it because it's still broke. Yo, it's still broke. It won't even work on the Steam. All the other ones came out verified, and then that one didn't. That one had issues. And I've tried it. And then when they dropped, they all put it up for $10 and stuff like that. It was cheap.
That's some bullshit.
but they spewed all their games. Of course, all their Assassin's Creeds and stuff there. And that's it, this is what they have to do. And that's why I find it funny that they at the same time advertise that, oh yeah, we have Uplay on Xbox, but that's like $18 a month less. It's on top of your subscription to Microsoft for online play and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's not part of any bundle. No one's paying $20 just to play Ubisoft games. It's not happening.
Yo, man, I'm convinced. Bring back the cord, man.
Bring back
these subscriptions are getting on a fucking order.
Oh yeah, well, this is what happens, right? Is that you keep stretching the rubber band until it pops, and we're seeing this already with all these streaming services. They're all trying to get everybody's money, and then they start pulling, and people start cutting it. They're like, all right, that's too much. That costs too much. Wait, that's almost $20. Don't need that shit.
It's like it's gonna. You have your Game Pass, and then it's like Ubisoft Plus, and then EA Play.
And well, and what happened? Same thing with EA Play. EA Play couldn't even get $5 a month. So they're like, you know what? We've tried the cheapest and we can't do it. So then it merged into Game Pass. And I'm sure that'll happen to Ubisoft if no one's paying $18. I don't know anybody. If anyone's in the chat, let us know if you're actually paying this $18 a month just to play Ubisoft games.
Yeah, because was it like 90% of like Xbox Game Pass subscribers they're not interested in the Ubisoft Plus? I read about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was because that was on True Achievements. Achievements.
Yeah, they talked about that.
Yeah, they did a poll. It's like, hey, anybody interested? No, because like we all said, we already got services. We already got big ones. You're not going to pay one just for these titles. It's just their game. Not doing that. Not doing it. It's not worth it. So anyway, those are things they hyped up. So just year 5 coming. That sounds fun. Heartland. You sound fun. Doesn't sound fun to me anymore. The phone game, over. I don't give a shit. So that was a Division Day. It was kind of disappointing. I really just wanted to hear 2 things. I wanted to know what's up with the movie, because they said that the director gets attacked on Twitter. So if it's not dead, it's not dead. They're gonna release it. Jake Gyllenhaal says he's still part of it, but I think that's just like in a handshake agreement, because nothing's happened. They haven't even filmed anything, so it's not like it's taped somewhere. And then no Division 3. They could easily make a Division 3. Just put it anywhere in the world. Grab another big map that you did. They had the nice scanning of the world. Do that, I don't know, in England, or do that in Germany or something. Then make it look all destroyed, and then do the same shit.
Wait, I thought you wanted it to be back in New York. You still don't want?
We already did. We did that in the Warlords. We ran around in there, and then I just like the gameplay and the layout and everything.
Carlos, he finally got what he wanted with Warlords, so he's good now. Now he's ready to move on.
That's it. Like when I still play Division 1. I got a lot of buddies that are like, oh yeah, let's play it, and then we jump in. In fact, some newer buddies that were like, oh, I want to play one of these. Which one should I play? I said, we're just going to play Division 1. And then sure enough, we beat it, and they like get that hunger. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go pick up Division 2. I'm like, better why? And then next then I'm stuck running around with them in that world. And it just doesn't feel the same. I don't like the environment. The lighting is too bright. It's too, it looks like every other game, as opposed to Division 1 with the snow and the buildings and it being very deserted. Sort of gave me that I Am Legend feel.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that we could roam through apartments and be like, shit, there's a TV here. Can I just crash here for a while? That could have been like Division 3 for me. Press a button and you just crash. Then you find that they have a console. Maybe you only play Ubisoft games, or if they integrated and they had it with Game Pass. So you're sitting on the couch of an apartment, you just crash, and now you're playing Game Pass on there. Sort of like what we did in Uncharted when you get the PlayStation. Remember Uncharted 4?
Yeah.
You start playing Crash Bandicoot. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and then while you're watching, somebody comes in and blows your head off.
There you go. Or you can invite somebody, and then they can sit on the couch with you.
Maybe they'll have the drone in this one.
Yeah, the drone. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, the drone you control with your phone. Remember that shit?
Yeah. Well, that was the commander. Yeah, that you were going to be the commander, and they couldn't do it because people said that would be cheating. Because remember, the one thing is that person who is on their phone using it would be able to see an overscope of the map. And so they can see when people are coming. And there's like the way they showed it in the trailer was like this was a way to avoid conflict. what if you're a bunch of guys that you're rogue agents and want to rob people? Well, this is it. You got your buddies like, yo, I just saw these guys. They killed the boss. They probably got good loot. They're like 2 blocks down. Go make a left and then go 2 blocks straight. They're like, yeah, this isn't going to be a good idea. And so they scrapped it. And then the drone was the actual drone that we got in Division 2 was supposed to be in 1. And they just said that they couldn't do it. Something with the technical whatever, blah, blah. They just said, we'll just hold off on that. So that was it. That was today, Division Day.
All right, there you go. It's still alive. Still alive. All right, we got to talk about some Nintendo fuckery.
Oh.
So, and this is interesting, this guy's name, Gary Bowser.
Gary?
Gary? So I'm reading this off a GameSpot. Nintendo hacker Gary Bowser, who was sentenced to 40 months in jail for piracy and received a hefty fine of close to $15 million for his involvement in the hacking group Team Executor, has now been released from prison, having served several months of his sentence. Bowser has been released early in part due to good behavior and time already served, but he is still legally obligated to pay Nintendo $10 million for his role in allowing Switch owners to hack their systems so that pirated games could be played on them. Fuck! Yo, Nintendo is vindictive, man. Yeah. Holy shit. Where's this dude going to get $10 million from? He's going to own Nintendo for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
You know, like just own money. And he's not going to pay a quarter of this shit, you know?
Yeah. Party's over.
It's over. God damn. Oh, check this out. Okay, so there's more here. As part of the consent judgment that Bowser agreed to, Nintendo will be allowed to take 20 to 30% of his grossly month income. Holy shit! Yeah, right. It's child support to Nintendo.
Wait, did you say how much? Did you say 20 or 40?
20 to 30%.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Yep.
Holy shit.
And he's not even the mastermind of the whole thing. He's just running their website. They can't even find the dudes because this is Team Executor. Anybody that knows any of the Xbox old days of making
so when he was in jail, he was paying them money.
Yeah, $173 or something like that. He gave them.
No, he was giving them $25 a month because he was getting $100 or whatever when he was in jail.
The total, it was like $100 something.
Wait, they took a portion of his jail stipend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
See, and people wonder why I don't like Nintendo. Shit like this. This company is fucking evil, man.
That is savage as fuck,
That
man.
is crazy, you know? So, yeah, he's out of the $10 million that he owes Nintendo, he's paid $175.
That's just petty. Like, that's like, first of all, y'all don't even know, like, how much, like, the money amount that you come to when calculating the damage from pirates is the most ridiculous fucking mental gymnastic math I have ever seen. Like, it's assuming that every person who had ever downloaded or played the game was going to buy it at full retail, possibly along with some other stuff. Like, it is absolutely fucking obscene. I'm not sure if you guys know anybody, but like, who've ever done like a multi-level marketing scheme kind of thing. Right, and like they'll sit there and they'll be like, "You see that bottle of shakes right there? That's worth $1,200." Like, bro, you bought that for like $300 and you can't sell it. It's not worth $1,200. Yeah, if you sold all of them for full price in a hypothetical situation where you just fucking snapped your finger, sure, it has the potential to be that. But let's all be fucking honest. It's not worth the $300 you paid for it because you're gonna get stuck paying for it because it's a fucking pyramid scheme. Like it's that kind of weird math that just blows my mind. And then to use that kind of weird math to kind of like, this dude is never going to make $10 million. No. Nintendo knows this. Yeah. It is not worth the money for the lawyer to process the paperwork to get the $25 a month out of him in jail. They're just doing this to be a dick.
Yep.
And that's a long way of going around and saying, like, Tony is not wrong. Tony is actually sitting on empirical fucking truth. They're not trying to get their money. They're just trying to be assholes. And they're succeeding at it, which is super fucked up.
They obviously wanted to make an example of this person.
Yeah, by being the biggest dick they can.
Yeah, I mean, there it is, man. There it is. Nintendo is just fucking vindictive.
Do you remember back in the day when they were asking YouTubers to give them half of their earnings from watching videos?
Scumbags, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Adam, you were telling me about another story. You know?
Oh yeah. They went after any. They started going after any YouTubers that were showing or doing, a breakdown of the trailer for the new Zelda game.
Shout out
to people that were doing free advertising for them.
Yeah, they were going after. They're like, nope, we're pulling it, and they were getting notices like whenever they would upload their video. I guess on the back end, you guys see it get scanned or whatever, and they said it got flagged by Nintendo due to copyrights and stuff. And they break it in parts. Like one of the guys was talking about how he breaks it because he doesn't want any issues. He's not showing the whole trailer. He's not regurgitating. He's breaking different parts, zooming in, doing that type of stuff. And they were like, and they even put a strike on his account for it. And he's like, but why? It's a trailer. It's an out there trailer. It's not stolen footage or anything.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
they're notorious. They're notorious for even doing that with saying what the video is. I mean, we've gotten hit by Nintendo strikes before.
Yep.
Yeah, whenever we show any of the stuff from the Game Awards, some of those sequences
or a picture of Sexy Mario.
Oh yeah, Sexy Mario got a strike on it too. So
yeah, no, you're right about that. By the way, very interesting. The guys in the chat are they don't agree with us. They think Nintendo's in the right to do this.
No, I think it's just Piggy Dan.
Blitz too. And
Blitz.
Scott Zoe. Here's the thing. Legally, I guess they can, but it's like $10 million. Nintendo was never going to see that much money. They just want to be assholes. Go ahead, Brett.
Let me ask these same guys. Are you saying that? Sorry, I had to yell the dog. Are you saying that, he's in the wrong? He did a wrong thing.
Yeah, of course.
Are you saying Nintendo's right to be upset and seek compensation, or do you agree with the severity? Because that's my big thing. It's the severity. Like, do you agree that to the extent of which they went on this?
Yeah, because that's my thing. If Nintendo does have a right to go after this guy for making money off their shit, I get that. But the severity is $10 million. Originally it was $15 million. They knocked it down to a generous $10 million. So yeah, what do you guys think in the chat? Do you agree with the severity of it? Because that's what I want to know. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No. Okay, Blitz says he was profiting off of IP. I get it, but you agree with this guy literally paying Nintendo for the rest of his life. He's not going to pay $10 million back.
He's already in his 50s now, so it's never going to happen.
To be honest, he probably never made close to $10 million doing this.
Yeah, not even close. Yeah,
because like I said, he's not the mastermind. He's not the guys that were making it. He just had the website.
Yeah, they made an example of him because he was the easiest one of them to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nintendo, man. I understand this person obviously needs to be, adjudicated for what he did, but the severity of this, you're not trying to you're trying to ruin a person's life for a company that, quite frankly, does very well on its own. Like, with or without, we understand that they're trying to combat piracy, but they're still a really successful company with their IPs. So, find them something that, makes more sense. 50, 100 grand or 150 grand, something like that. That it'll take a while for him to pay, but it's doable, and maybe the person who's a non-violent criminal can live with dignity at least for the rest of his life. But Nintendo is treating this dude like he fucking killed someone's family. $10 million?
Yeah, that's wild.
I'm gonna be very careful how I say this. Nintendo, that's how you get people seeking revenge on you for ruining their lives. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Let you use your imagination.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And by the way, Scuzzy Droid said, and I don't know if this is what he meant, but this is the thing that came to my mind. He said, it's about sending a message. I'm like, it's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is. They don't need the money, and they know they're not going to get the money from him. They just want to ruin his life.
Yeah, okay, but my response to that, like, is like, yeah, like, they're ruining his life. Like, really, Nintendo, like, a multinational $1 million plus corporation really feels the need to flex on a basement dweller? Like, come on, that I don't think that's proportionate either. Like, yeah, I get it, but just because you design a system that hackers can break in their fucking sleep, I don't know, maybe the failure of design is a little bit on your part.
There's a reason why Nintendo's mascot is an Italian guy.
Yeah, right.
Mario knows some people.
No, like, hey,
his real accent comes out. He's like, "Hey, dude, come over here.
Come over here. You gonna take my money?
Take my uncle." And then he just slaps him like Joe Pesci.
He's like, that's funny because I was gonna say earlier, this sounds like a Yakuza shakedown.
No, it's an Italian mob.
What's that? You stepped on my shoes. Do you have any idea how much these shoes are worth? You better pay up.
Oh man.
Like, how old did you think Mario was? Like, I always thought he was like in his 30s. It looks like an older guy, but according to the movie, he's 24.
Whoa, that's a hard 24.
I was about to say, that's a hard life.
Life was
my man came from the old world, you know.
Life was hard for me, working in the plumbing and do the brother, and it's crazy.
That's what happens when you grow up in Brooklyn, you know.
Life is hard, and a plumber.
I'm from Red Hook. What are you talking about?
Yeah, have you seen Red Hook? Nice now, man.
I mean, in fairness, you look at him. That's not an Italian nose. That's an alcoholic nose. That's how you get that shit.
Man, I still maintain Mario's Mexican, man. That mustache gives it away. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a big mustache.
You know, like they changed his last name without him knowing it. You know, I'm telling you,
Mario Lopez.
Mario Lopez. Well, no, his real name is Lopez. Like, how you gonna have two names?
Lopez.
I mean, apparently in the first Mario movie, his name was Mario.
No, that's his actual name, isn't it? Like Mario and Luigi Mario. It's like, what?
According to that movie, I hope that's not like Nintendo's actual stance.
It didn't say his last name in the movie. You see his brother. You see his uncle. You see his sister. You see his mom and his dad in the But
I meant the old movie.
Yeah, the old one with
because technically John Leguizamo is adopted, so they're not brothers, but their last name both happens to be Mario.
Oh, he boycotted the movie too.
Yeah, the new one.
He didn't like the new one.
Well,
Leguizamo?
Yeah, he did.
He was like,
you don't have a leg to stand on, motherfucker.
About that.
Yeah,
he said he didn't have enough representation in it.
But that's the thing.
Come on.
They had a bunch. If you look at the cast, even like the main woman, it's like a lot of people were of different races in that film.
Let's be serious. There's only one type of representation he wanted, and that was John Leguizamo representation.
Yeah, he wanted his representation.
You wanted the money.
Yeah,
I was Luigi, motherfucker.
By the way, he's going against his own studio, right? That studio, didn't they do the Ice Age movies? The guys who did that Mario film?
I think so, because they also do the Despicable ones and the Minion. It's a Illumination.
I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but he might be going against his own studio.
Well, they don't do the Ice Age anymore, but yeah, maybe that's it. He's bitter that they didn't use him. But it's funny because I remember a while ago, I was just looking it up. It was years ago about him talking about movie roles and stuff, and how he had a drug problem. And he said during that Mario movie, he doesn't remember much because he was so coked out. He would go on set and he couldn't remember anything. So it was like all a blur that he was even in that movie.
That's crazy. All right, man, let's move on. What else do we talk about? So about PlayStation. So remember, like when PS5 like first came out, and for like a first year or so, it was like outselling the PS4 at the same amount of time or whatever. So that slowed down, but then obviously this year PlayStation 5 blew up. So now it's surpassing the PS4 again. For the same amount of time. Pretty interesting.
With a slight caveat, US only.
Yeah, U.S. only. Yeah, for sure. Very interesting.
People want to like omit that part, I think, for certain reasons. It's like, no, it's US only. Like the guy that first reported it said US only. So
yeah, it's from the NPD, so that does tell you it's U.S. only. So pretty interesting. But yeah, I did have a big resurgence. And Brian, did you? I'm going to combine the stories. Did you hear about the scalpers? What's going on with them?
I heard. I didn't look into it, but because I didn't care. I seen scalpers PS5, and it's like, nope, I don't care anymore.
What's the problem with them now that they're
now they're desperate to get rid of their PS5s because no one's buying them because you can find them in stores, so they're selling them like cheap. So like good.
They should have known that was going to happen. They should have known it was going to happen.
Yeah, fucking idiots,
Yeah, I mean their viability for their scalping only really would have lasted like 2 years.
Yeah, we knew that shit was going to come. Oh, this is interesting. So just yesterday we reported that PS5 saw a 500% sales boost in Europe. Oh shit. Yeah, because you can actually find the console now. It's just there. But yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So I wonder. I still don't know if the PS5 is ultimately going to outsell the PS4 though. We'll have to see about that. It could.
I mean, it's doing this one.
They need to start putting out some fucking games, yo.
Well, apparently they don't need that because people buying it. And
that's this is something we talked about. It's like Sony has no incentive to change their course because they're selling well. Mm-hmm. That's both good. That's good for them, bad for us. Because we ain't getting no games.
They do have 2 more pushes for sales, at least. They have the PS5 Pro. Whenever that comes out, that's going to push sales. And then they have, like what Manny mentioned, when the games actually start coming. If they start coming, I'm guessing someday they will. But when those games start coming, those PS5 titles, those are going to push systems every year.
Yeah, it's almost impressive that it's pushing it without any.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's that hunger though. People have been trying to get it for so long that it's one of those things. It's like shit. It's available now. Press the button.
Yeah, get it down. And you know what? Say what you will. Again, even though a lot of these PS4 games, PS5 games have been PS4 games. If you buy a PlayStation 5 right now, you're gonna get there's a lot of exclusives for you. You're good to go.
I feel like all the consoles, there's no more. Sure. I mean, Microsoft is constantly sending emails. Hey, any of your buddies need one? You got them. It's like, I don't know anybody that.
Yeah. But no, you're right. Maybe things will pick up. But even this year, Final Fantasy 16 is exclusive, not a first party exclusive, obviously. The new Horizon DLC, I'll talk about that later. That's only on PS5. And then Spider-Man will also only be on PS5. You already know that's going to drive systems.
What about that Wolverine one?
That's also going to be on PS5.
No, but is that exclusive to PS5?
Oh, yeah.
Is that,
yeah.
By the way,
go ahead, Fred.
When you're saying you don't know if it's going to surpass the PS4, keep in mind it doesn't have to be better or do better than the PS4. The gaming market is still widening and becoming larger. It's becoming, it hasn't even hit full saturation yet. Let's be honest. It's not like fucking everybody plays video games the same way everybody watches TV. Eventually, I think that shit will happen, but we still got another couple decades of just widening the market. So we don't have to do better than the PS4, just about as good.
Yeah, that's true. No, I was just wondering. I was just wondering if it's going to sell as many consoles. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they can easily sell more consoles because there's more customers.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You said decades, but do you even think we'll have consoles in a couple of decades? Because I'm just imagining it's all going to be streaming.
I mean, maybe, but in a couple of decades, I think everybody will play video games.
Yeah. But at the same time, if everything's streaming, that's going to make gaming more ubiquitous. So, no, I agree with you. I mean, here's the thing. Even now, it's like everybody games to some extent. Even if it's a shitty mobile game, it's still gaming, right?
Yeah.
So we're kind of already there, Brett, in a way,
Yeah, tell that to my dating.
Yeah, no, I know that. No, don't get me wrong. There's still those fucking ignorant people that are like, gaming, But it's like, yeah, that's archaic shit, guys,
Yeah.
Also, if everybody plays video games, where the fuck are all the gamer girls?
Yeah. No, they're there. They're, but, I don't know.
Not here.
You said it. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, you said I don't think they're over there. Like most of the girls I know, they play video games. Like kind of interesting how that works. Like before, the girls didn't play video games. Now they do. It's like, whoa, okay, better for me.
I mean,
I'm not complaining about that.
This is quite a bit of like girls that have like a lot of the girls that we know have played games for a while.
Yeah.
You know,
they just play different
like
games. That's the thing.
Well, the ones that I know,
most of the time, like Sims and stuff. But then there's you put a Mass Effect game in front of most girls, they're gonna like because Dragon Age story stuff.
I mean, Chris's wife, she's been an
Resident
avid
Evil,
gamer since since the Super Nintendo era. She's a huge Resident Evil fan. My girlfriend used to.
I'm not saying there's not.
I mean, that's anecdotal. But but then I'm wondering, Manny, do you think where because of where we kind of live, we may see things more skewed?
There's circles you run in, man.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
How many? What percentage of Tinder do you think plays video games?
Yeah.
I think there you go.
Check that box. Like, isn't there? There should be a category like interests. That should be one.
But there.
Brett, your question answers it. No. like what? Less than 1%. You're right. I'm with you, man. Yeah, it depends on where you go. I guess they need to have like a gaming version of it. I don't know.
See, there you go. That's your next bit. Next thing.
Brett, there you go.
Gamersonly.com.
Yeah. It's gonna be fucking. It's gonna be like 92s and one girl and shit.
Gamer. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, especially with all the toxicity, reputation that gaming seems to have, maybe even people won't even go on there. Like, oh, it's so toxic on here.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. What the hell were we even talking about? I don't know. But yeah, very interesting topic right there. Hold on. Blitz wants us to talk about something. What was it about PC games? Are you guys going to talk about Sony upping PC game prices? What is he talking about? Because that sounds interesting to me.
They were already up. I don't know what when The Last of Us came out.
Do you know what's going on?
Price.
I actually just read about it like half an hour ago. PlayStation games on PC are being increased, but only in certain regions and certain games. I think it's like Days Gone and some other ones. I think Last of Us. Again, I could be mistaken, but I definitely did see Days Gone there. I think like regions are like Canada, India, just random places, not the main places like the UK, US. So it's very weird.
Okay. I think that was $60 right off the bat. That Last of Us when I played. That was at no discount rate, and then there was $10 more for the 70 if you wanted like the art book or sound. They were charging something on Steam for $10 to jump into 70.
Yeah. Here we go. I found it. Also from GameSpot. Sony PlayStation has recently increased prices of many of its games on Steam in several countries. The increase ranged from 10% to doubling the asking price of high-profile games. A massive change that whoa, that's crazy.
What?
And it was unannounced too. They just did it. As spotted by Reset Era user, whatever, the price increase affected high-profile games such as Spider-Man, God of War, and Returnal. The countries affected include Argentina, Canada, Chile, China, Colombia, Japan, and South Korea, with the hikes varying considerably according to the region. For example, Japan's prices ranged from 5,900 yen to 7,590 yen, roughly a 30% increase. Canada increased by 15%, China by 10%. Damn, Sony.
I think because of the titles.
It's coming here.
Well, I think I know why then. I think I know why. Because Days Gone and the titles that you mentioned, when I go to certain sites to find keys, a lot of them are in UK and stuff, and those games are always under like $10, $15. They're cheap.
Yeah.
And just for those, and maybe they see that, and that's not what they want. So if they up the price, then those third-party sellers have to up the price. So you can't find Sony games in the bargain bin. Because I remember Horizon was like $15. Days Gone was definitely like $9.99.
This
God of War in Argentina got fucked. It went from 4,199 pesos to 8,499. Fuck.
I hope they're using a VPN over there. Don't pay those prices, people. Don't let them gouge you like that.
This Bowser dude can't catch a fucking break, man.
Yeah, right.
Dude, we have to pay Nintendo $14 million and then like $80 for fucking God of War.
Damn.
Okay, I'm going to say it. Well, firstly,
Say
I
it.
think that Greg Miller is just a really funny guy who's really like seriously deranged person. I just need to get that off the chest.
Fuck.
I don't know why.
Wait,
what
Just came out of nowhere. What?
Just go and see his Twitter feed, and then you'll see that he's a seriously like deranged person. I think.
Okay.
Also, because no one else is going to say this, this isn't only going to promote piracy because this is the opposite of what pirates would like to see happening. So it's just going to encourage a lot more people to just say, okay, fuck it, I'm not going to pay more. I'll just pirate it.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Again, spread a lot of Bowser Juniors.
Yeah, and the worst part is I don't blame them because if living in places where the economy is being fucked over and they're now having to pay more for games, it's like they just be in a situation where so why should they fork over a bill that they have no control over? Yeah.
Was
It's a shame.
was Days Gone part of the games list? That was because if it is, goddamn, that you got balls for that one.
I'm certain I've seen Days Gone on one of those lists. Unless I think
Yeah,
of something else.
they announced it. That was when he was reading off. So let's see, Days Gone. Like right now, if you want Days Gone for PC on CD Keys has it for $11.89, no tax.
You know what's crazy? I mean, they're raising up the price for The Last of Us, and is that game still broken?
No, well, I don't know if they're raising it because all the outlets have been putting it on deep sales because of all the. I finished it. I finished it on Steam Deck yesterday. It's playable now, but it's not. It's still not given not even a playable status. It's not verified or listed as playable. It's listed as unsupported. It still works. I had to do a bunch of stuff to get it to work, so I can't recommend it to anyone. But they were always patching it. Every time I turn it on, it was always giving me another patch. So they're really trying hard to get it to that state where it's like it runs perfectly on everybody's device. I haven't tried it on a high-end PC. I don't have a high-end video card, so I don't know if that's been resolved. But
you got a high-end Steam Deck.
I do have a high-end Steam Deck. But yeah, it worked. It played. I only had a few issues where my character got stuck. Just magically got stuck. He just stopped moving. Joel got tired.
It was a loading screen.
No, the game is running around me. I'm just not moving. Joel wasn't moving. I've had some slowdown, just like at the beginning. We all know that part where they showed the video. He's running through the streets carrying Sarah. Well, there was a few other parts like that in the game where there's a lot going on, especially when you get the flamethrower. And so you're setting things on fire and everything was like, I had the performance and it was like, 30, 40 and it went to like 15. It was like,
oh, shit.
All those alpha effects.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too much. And I turned off stuff. Down, yeah. I turned off motion blur. I turned off a bunch of settings just so that way I could get the best possible performance. But that's why I just had to run through it. I'm not going to just wait until they get this to 100% because I don't think they'll ever get it, which is sad because they did everything great with Uncharted and it's the same Iron Galaxy and they pulled it off and that launched as verified. And well, maybe that doesn't have as much craziness as The Last of Us on it. Whatever, but yeah, it's messed up what they're doing in those markets. But like I said, I think it has to do with they don't like seeing certain Sony exclusive titles in the bargain bins. And it's always on sale, even in our Steam and the US Steam, it's always on sale.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how it's going to curb anything. If anything, it's just some of the folks said, it's just they're going to start pirating those games. So good job, Sony.
Yeah, good job, Sony.
See, we're seeing a lot.
Man, Argentina's going through a tough time right now. That's crazy.
Right, Messi don't even want to go back there. Yeah.
He doesn't.
He can't. I don't blame him. I don't blame anybody. If you're too famous and everybody wants to stalk you and do that, you don't want to live there. You don't want to live that life where you're constantly, chaperones and bodyguards because your own super fans might kind of harass you and tackle you.
Yeah, that's crazy. It just seems kind of crazy. It's like only in select markets that we're raising up the price.
Yeah,
and it's like
everywhere but the United States. It seems like
Same thing like the console. I bet they did it with their console. Same shit.
Why would
Sony
Jose
hates
is like
Japan.
they literally go after Japan? I mean,
Yeah.
Traditionally Japanese company literally, gouging their own people. I don't know about that, Mr. Ryan.
Epic fail.
Epic fail.
I'm sure even Shuhei Yoshida said, "What the fuck are you doing, man?"
I can't buy no PlayStations.
That shit can barely fit in my room.
You know? Yeah, that shit is fucked up. All right, let's move on here. More Sony news. Sony acquires Firewalk Studios. Carlos, I know you wanted to talk about this.
Yeah,
go ahead.
it's in the race of acquisitions, that's just another one that Sony got. I wasn't too familiar with Firewalk Studios, other than I know a lot of the old Bungie people were part of it. So they got Bungie, they got a studio that had Bungie people. I couldn't find any games they've made, and anyone in the chat or anyone,
I couldn't find them either. Yeah.
So I don't know what the hell they've done, but apparently they're working on a AAA multiplayer game, and it just goes back to the whole thing that I've always mentioned with Sony, and this was even before Bungie. I always said they need to start working on multiplayer stuff, because the first person, the third person shooter, action adventure story shooter can only take you so far, and then once the game quality, because they've hit the lottery with game quality in the last couple of years and last decade, with the Uncharted, The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima's, and Horizons, but that and God of War's, but eventually they're going to need to diversify their catalog of stuff that they can rely on. And multiplayer games are certainly one of those that they can do. And they've already, by acquiring Bungie and Destiny, that's a huge one. But apparently that's what Firewalk Studios is going to be part of as well.
They're a brand new studio. They were formed in 2018, so they actually don't have any games yet. They said they were.
Welcome to this generation.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome to this generation. Yeah,
perfect timing.
They're here to make multiplayer games. So there you go.
I mean,
go ahead.
Perfect buy for Sony. They themselves make no games, and they bought a studio that makes no games.
They're being consistent.
They're like, you guys.
Go ahead, Brett.
Personally, I only see one reason to make that move, and that was you just bought Bungie. You found the people who had gone from Bungie, and you either didn't want to or couldn't headhunt them, so you bought the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
They don't want the broken Bungie. They want the Bungie that made Halo, and they're going to put that shit together piece by piece if they have to.
And then I put on the Discord, they're going to start going after the 343 people that have been leaving next. Get the old Bungie squad together.
I think that's what I think they're talent hunting. I don't think this is as much about the studio as much as like the talent within the studio.
Yeah, because it's like, what is it? It's like Sony's like, okay, Firewalk Studios, let's look at their resume. No games, perfect. I like the cut of their jib.
Yeah, I mean, but also look at it this way. You're like, okay, I want all these guys as this talent. I could try and hire them away from their own company, with an increased salary and nicer stuff, or just buy the company and not pay them any more than they're already making.
Yeah.
Tell you, I feel like it's more efficient that way.
But yeah, not really much to say because again, this studio hasn't made any games, so who knows?
I think that says a lot, though, don't you?
Not really, because they haven't made anything.
That's the thing. There's no reason to buy a studio that hasn't made any games. You're not buying any IPs. You're only buying one thing.
Yeah,
here's the thing. How do you know they're not making anything?
No. They haven't made anything.
They haven't made anything, but whatever they have possibly going on behind the scenes might have been of interest to Sony.
I mean, yeah.
you know that's also reasoning to acquire a company.
Well, also let's not forget they acquired Jade Raymond Studio that hasn't released a game
Hasn't
yet.
released shit either. Yeah.
Yes, but the thing about for Jade Raymond, again, whatever they're working on could have been something that impressed Sony in order to push them forward. It wasn't.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Yeah.
Wasn't also their thing also a multiplayer game too? The thing that they were supposedly working on?
Not sure, but Sony definitely does want to make more multiplayer games. That's why they bought, whatchamacallit.
So here's my question then. Like, so they could be working on something behind the scenes they hadn't even announced, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how does Sony know about this? Because I think that actually tells us a lot. Like, I think the questions here actually tell us a lot of things. Like, are they shopping themselves around? Is Sony approaching newly
I don't
formed
think it's as
studios?
nefarious as you think it is, dude.
I will say,
It's not
this.
nefarious.
Usually companies know what when a game is in development. Usually, most of especially if those studios are going to be eventually release those games on certain consoles, those console distributors actually do know what's coming.
Okay, well, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's anything nefarious in it. I'm asking the question.
My guess
let him
is
finish, Manny. Go ahead, Brett.
No, I'm not asking nefarious. I'm asking the question. Like, it sounds like Manny's saying they may be looking through some of the things that they have approved and getting an idea of what the market looks like and who to acquire. Like, and that's why I say, like, not saying anything here, I think, says a lot in this instance. It can tell us maybe, not a whole lot definitively, but at least fairly firmly, like, how is Sony looking to acquire new talent?
Well, I can't speak for the Firewalk one, but I will say the Jade Raymond studio was it. I'm pretty sure this is my speculation, but I do have. But
by the way,
real
quick, Blitz. Yeah, he's right. This Firewalk Studio did announce they were making a Sony exclusive beforehand. So Sony's probably like, again, this is what Sony does. Like, oh yeah, we're already kind of going out. Yeah, I'll marry you, sure. I
think think they did. I think they did it in a one of those conferences. I think, if I remember correctly. And it was like some two dudes just talking.
Yeah. Because that's why their name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in that instance, that means that the studio probably approached Sony, and Sony's being receptive to these kinds of offers. They know that they need to be reaching out and securing first party titles, and they're actively doing it. Again, none of this is talking shit. This is all just kind of like, I kind of feel like this gives us a little bit of a peek behind how Sony's doing stuff.
Well, and also I think talent has a lot to do with it, and name recognition, because the whole thing with this is one of my greatest Miss Cleo moments. When Jade Raymond announced her new studio, she announced it in the PlayStation blog, and I'm like, this does not make any sense. Why is a new studio that's independent being announced in the PlayStation blog? And then what happened a couple of months afterwards?
They bought them, yeah.
Now they're part of the PlayStation Studio family. But I feel like this was always in the works, and this was fresh off. She announced the studio right after she got left from fucking Google Stadia. So I don't know if I doubt they had anything significant cooking. Maybe just concepts and ideas and stuff about what they're gonna work. But I'm pretty sure Sony wanted Jade Raymond Studio to be part of their family. So who knows about Firewalk? Maybe they did have something cooking in the background that Sony liked, or maybe they just liked the talent.
Here's the way that I'm looking at it from a top down. Y'all can. This is as much gut as info, but I get the feeling that Microsoft is acquiring studios, Sony's acquiring talent. It's going to be very interesting to see how those two strategies play out.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But again, Sony doesn't seem to buy studios they don't already have a relationship with. Bungie, you could make an argument they kind of didn't really. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember when they bought Insomniac? We're like, I thought they already owned them, The
other thing that I've noticed is Sony keeps their studios pretty separated too. Like they just put like, keep doing what you're doing, just wear the Sony headband. All right, bye. They don't really cross-pollinate a lot of their talent.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I don't know that Microsoft does either right now. I just know that like Bethesda's allowed to kind of do their own thing, but that's a big question mark on Microsoft's side. Like, are they going to move talent from studio to studio? And if so, I can see why buying studios and building, essentially one giant hyper studio that can make, trade talent and play all these games, that might be kind of more the direction that they're going. Whereas Sony, if they're keeping their things separate, then getting key individuals of top talent and giving them creative free run, I think is smart for what they're trying to do.
So let me get this straight, Brett. Sony is acquiring talent, Microsoft is acquiring studios / publishers, and Nintendo is acquiring checks from fucking Canadian Bowser every month.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
And haters.
Yep.
Got it?
Yeah, they're just pissing in their own Cheerios.
Oh man, I like that. Pissing in their own Cheerios. All right, that's gonna do it for the gaming news. Let's talk about what we've been playing lately. Adam, we'll start with you.
Playing The Last of Us on Steam Deck. Finished that one. What else been playing? Midnight Suns. Giving that a go. See how that is.
Yeah. What do you think of that so far?
It's all right. I mean, I haven't gotten too far in it. You pick your cards, and it's one of those. You got different abilities, and I don't know. I've never really gotten into. I know that a lot of people were into like Slay the Spire, or that was called, and other type of card battle type when it comes to that type of style. So I was like, all right, let me try this one out. So doing that, been playing Capcom's Arcade Stadium. That's pretty fun. Going back and playing a lot of those games, like Bionic Commando that's on there, Regular Commando. A lot of older games there, and so there's something else that I was playing on there. I don't know, but that's pretty much where. Oh, and then Far Cry 5. Me and a buddy trying to finish that up, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, just spending a large majority of my time just on the Steam Deck, because in Resident Evil 2, the remastered. I don't even. It's funny when you play these older games and you don't remember. You played it and you finished it, but then you have no. I can't remember any of that stuff. With The Last of Us, I remembered a lot of the rooms because it wasn't too long ago. That was on the PS3 when I finished that one. But man, Resident Evil 2 feels like a completely different game. I'm like, this is a new game. To me, it is. I'm in the precinct. I'm navigating around. I'm grabbing wood and boarding up windows. I don't remember that. Was that in the original, the PlayStation 2 or 1, whatever?
Which one?
Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2, the original one?
Yeah,
that was on PS1.
But can you board up windows? Was that a thing? Grabbing wood, finding wood to board up windows? I don't remember that. I don't remember
that either.
Yeah, but that's in this remake, whatever. I'm walking around. It's like, oh, you found wood. I'm like, to do what?
Yeah, board up windows, son.
Yeah, and then I go to a window and a little prompt says, hey, use it. And I do it, and it's like the next thing. Like, oh, I guess I did that. Huh. So, yeah, just playing a lot of stuff. Days Gone is on that backlog list. I never finished it on PS4 because I kept running out of gas. I know you never had an issue with that, but I always seem to run out of fucking gas. I like cruising around too much. Because that's the thing with it. You have to know where you're going. Look at the map. You can't just say, oh, let me go off the path. If you do, good luck.
I always just stuck to the road. I never had a problem. I just stuck to the roads.
But there are roads. But like there's a main objective, and then sometimes there's like a side road. And I like to explore. That's how you find the goodies, right? Well, I did that a few times, and I found some goodies, but it wasn't gas. So I had to leave my bike.
Tony don't fuck around. Tony's very goal-oriented. Tony sets out to do something. I think Tony would be the only person who, if he played Skyrim, would set out to do a quest and actually end up doing that quest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember when I first started, before I played Fallout 3, right? One of my friends was like, oh, man, that game's so long. You're going to be playing for months. I'm like, yeah, we'll see about that. I got the platinum in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Man, how many hours did you put in for it, though?
About 100.
There you go. That's a lot of time.
And this was all the DLCs, too, by the way.
That's
like I was like, okay, yeah, no. When I get joy out of playing games the most efficiently as possible. Like I just want efficiency. That also kind of strips me of some, it also strips me of some of the fun. Like if I'm playing like a hack and slash game, literally the same combo works in every game, so I just use that combo. Light punch, heavy punch, and then sometimes you dodge a little dodge here and there, but I use the same combo in every game and it works every single time. I'm like, why the hell should I try all these other combos? This one thing works every single time.
Oh, so you're the reason Wulong is the way that it is.
Explain. I don't play those type of games.
Oh well. But speaking of combos, you got Street Fighter 6, the demo.
Yeah, the demo's out. You playing that?
Yeah. I'm going to this
shit.
weekend. Gotta get it. I don't know if I don't have the adapter for it. None of my Fight 6 will work on the PlayStation. That sucks. But I'm still gonna boot it up. I got upset when I saw that they announced DLC and Akuma is DLC. I'm like, he should already be in the DLC. Should be for new characters, not just
Akuma's DLC.
That's what they said. It was an announcement of DLC characters and listing him as one.
There goes fucking Capcom, man.
And I mean, they did that.
He's part of the season pass.
Yeah, there you go. The season pass bullshit. He should already be there.
Man.
He should already be there. New characters for DLC. That's my other issue with Call of Duty, and that's what a lot of people pissed off. They announced, it's a new season. Look at all this new gear, and go buy this $20 for a skin that you already purchased in the 2019 version. They're just reselling you the same shit. It's like, why can't you just see that you're logging into their server? Why can't they just say, hey, you already bought it from the last one? It's the same. We'll give you this. No, they want them to fucking pay $20 for the same damn skin.
Adam, are you saying that Activision is making you pay making you pay multiple times for the same game?
For the same content?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you play multiple times for the same Call of Duty game. Like
no, don't go that
That's
far.
nothing like them. They wouldn't resell you the same thing that you already bought, would they?
They're being pricks. They're definitely being pricks about it. It's and that's the big uproar right now, at least in Call of Duty land. Shit, why are you reselling this stuff? And some people are defending it. It's nostalgia packs, they're calling it. Oh, it's a nostalgia pack from the last game. That's a nostalgia. Sure.
All right. Anything else you playing?
What else? Oh, I still play my my wrestling game. I'm actually going to be posting up now some stuff over at the Coalition. The first DLC pack came out, but there's some cool little hidden tricks and stuff to get certain content because it's weird. So there's a character everybody here probably knows, the Steiner brothers, right? Everybody knows the Steiner brothers, old school tag team.
Yes.
Okay,
right.
yeah.
There you go, Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. That was his second gimmick, right? It looked all crazy. Anyway, they released the brothers. They don't have the Big Papa Pump character. Okay, well maybe it's a licensing. Wrong, because if you go into the entrances and the move sets and customization, all the Big Papa Pump's motions are there. And when you equip it to that character, the announcers address him now as Big Papa Pump and start talking about his career and stuff. So why add the announcer commentary? Why add all the hidden stuff and not the full character model? It's very shady. So anyway, I'm putting up a little guide on how to make him so that now he's there as an alternate and get all the pieces together. And there you go. And I made a little video and you could see him all put together as Big Papa Pump.
That's
cool. That'll be up tomorrow morning. I should have it up finished by tonight.
Cool. All right. Mandy, have you had a chance to play anything?
No, my gaming for now has been in a stalemate. I have a few projects sort of, including my full-time job, sort of taking my time. But the good thing, I'm not staying up till the crack of dawn doing these things, which is good. So yeah, I mean the games I have in stasis right now. What was I playing? I know I stopped something pretty recently. I know I still have Nier to play, and I know I still have a few other things. But if anything, it'll just be something small I'll play in there. I know one thing that I'm looking forward to is watching the season finale of Picard season 3.
Oh, that was awesome! Holy shit, go enjoy it. That whole thing should have been a movie. They did such a fantastic job that season.
So far, all the episodes I've seen are all really good. So
wait to
see the ending. Yeah. So not game related.
Right, Carlos, you been playing anything lately?
Yeah, I'm still playing Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh shit.
I should be done with that before Survivor comes out. And yeah, pretty good game. I'm looking forward to the next one because I just feel like there's a lot from the game that could be improved, especially graphics wise. But I always like, but I do like the style and the aesthetic of the game. In particular, the first portion of the game.
Yeah.
But
that whole like on the train jumping around and doing that.
Yes.
whole thing.
Yeah, that shit.
was
That's
awesome.
what hooked me. Like, oh fuck.
Yeah. I
That's-
didn't see any more of those later on though, but
No.
nothing on that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm scared of because I'm like, oh, if the whole game is like this, man, that shit's gonna be crazy. But then
Uncharted
you go to-
in Star Wars land. That's what.
yeah, exactly. Like they do have that kind of similar feel. But no, so far, it's still a good game, but it's more of like just exploring different planets and going on different missions.
Yeah.
Did you get the double saber? Did you get the staff?
No.
There's a guide I can send. You can get that early on. You just have to follow the path. It's like jump on little walls and stuff. You don't fight anybody, and you get to where you have to get it. It helps you out throughout the rest of the game because you have that special weapon. You get it early. Yeah, you can get it real early.
Oh, the double blade lightsaber. That's the first thing I did.
Yeah, there you go. See, a lot of people did it. That was it. It was a
I didn't even know it was the game. They're just like, here's this ridiculously difficult area you have access to for no good reason right now. And I was like, well, I'm clearly gonna go there.
That's it. So yeah, you get that early. It's fun.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
To follow up with Manny, I'm watching Succession, finish The Mandalorian. I'm gonna start Ted Lasso soon, and hopefully Vinland Saga as well.
Ted Lasso's so good too. It has no business being that as good as it is. Like this,
Someone told me the last episode was probably the best.
Oh yeah, it's the trip to Amsterdam. It was fun. It's a great show, great comedy show.
Vinland Saga is weird.
Okay, so as for myself, I have been playing some of the Horizon DLC, and it reminded me of how much I love that fucking game. I've been enjoying it. Control.
Does it look even better?
It looks about as good. Even though it is only a PS5 exclusive, it still has it's still the PS4 game.
Still the same
core.
game.
Yeah. But the thing is,
Wait,
it looked great to begin with.
So the DLC is only for PS5?
Yes.
That's wait.
That's
so
messed
the game,
up.
So the
Well,
game
Final
you can buy
Fantasy
on
did the
both-
same thing. Final Fantasy Remake, the DLC is only on PS5,
Oh,
and Cyberpunk's going to do the same thing as well.
that's not a first party. I mean, you would think that you would
Well,
want to play this
it's not a
with your
first party,
own-
but it is an exclusive on PlayStation. It's not on Xbox.
No, I know, but I mean, I would expect it's my platform and it's Sony. It's like you want all your games to work on, for your customers.
Yeah, but I think it's because Horizon sold more on PS5, so they're like, all right, we're just doing it on PS5. So it kind of makes sense. But yeah, no, the game's dope. I've been having fun with it. I just like the DLC of the first Horizon. I'm glad they give you just a little bit of a tutorial, because I'm like, I haven't played this game in a fucking year. I don't know how to play this shit anymore. Like literally, if I don't play a game for like a month after the fact, I forgot how to play it already. Because you're playing something else and you're thinking about those controls. But it's very subtle. But yeah, no, I'm having fun with it. It's good stuff. There's also another game that I'm playing, but I can't talk about that. But we mentioned it tonight, so we'll leave it at that. Just think about what Carlos said. I'm giving you a very obvious clue what else I'm playing.
You're playing the Firewalk Studios game.
There you go. Everybody in the chat, and also just download Diablo on whatever platform they're doing a server crash and a server slam event, so that way they launch this.
Blitz.
In May.
Blitz. I agree. Fuck Zelda. That's a creative editing on my part. I'm gonna write an editorial about Horizon and why people are sleeping on it. It's fucking awesome. You know,
people don't like robot dinosaurs.
It's the PS Vita of PlayStation exclusives. You know, although it sold very well, so that's different.
It could be considered the Order 1886 of PlayStation exclusives.
Well, that is
the
Order 1886 is the Order 1886 of PlayStation exclusives. You know.
By the way, who developed the Order 1886?
They're in some shit too. Didn't they lose a bunch of people?
Yeah, man, they let go a lot of people recently.
Well,
what are they doing?
They're part of Meta now.
Yeah,
So
Meta. Yeah,
they're developing VR games. I mean, I'm sure the reasoning why is because they're not. They probably should have never did it.
Yeah,
but
idiots.
But I mean, here's the thing. Like the thing about it is that like, could they really compete at that level with all the other big party titles? I don't know. That's part of the reason why they went VR, because it was a space where they could shine with their AAA polish, but not have to deal with AAA rigmarole.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought, Ready at Dawn was sort of, for me, was always like Insomniac. I always just assumed they were part of PlayStation.
No,
because they did the God of War games.
They God of War.
They made so many. They made so many exclusive games for them, right? Like they made, what was it, the Jack and Daxter game where you played, for PlayStation Portable, and then they did the God of War games.
What about the Heavy Rain studio? I always thought they were a part of it, and they're not.
No, and they got Quantic Dream. They got bought by Tencent or something a while ago. So you can play all their exclusive games on PC and stuff.
Yeah, I saw some of those, but I was always surprised because I thought that they were going to get gobbled up at some point. Well, they do all these games for Sony.
By the way, Jay Shep says Game Awards news this week too. I heard something about that. Was it Game Awards or was it Summer Games Fest?
I think it's Summer Game Fest.
This is Jeff Keighley related show stuff that apparently people are hyping up.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Death Stranding. Death Stranding was like $12. The director's cut for Steam, and I picked up. That's another one that was in a bargain bin.
And you're going to play it on your Steam Deck?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna play the robot dinosaur one just to see what the big deal is, because Tony seems to like these robot dinosaur games.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
I'll try it. I played a little bit when it was on PlayStation. Well, it's still on there, but when I played it with the girl and she was in a room and I had to do like some jumping and following some dude around, like stealth. I guess he was showing me the ropes.
Yeah. You got to get past that.
Yeah.
Brett, anything else you want to say about Wulong?
Weirdly enough, you might actually like it. Really structured, actually. It has actual levels.
Oh no! It was never my problem with the Team Ninja games. It's just like, nah, you need to be very skilled, and I'm not that skilled to play these games. That's the thing,
I think if you can play Elden Ring, you can play this game.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm not interested.
Story's also pretty good. When I said before, like you're the person this game is made for. Like,
yeah.
So one of the main mechanics on it is like you have this spirit bar that it goes positive or negative, and it goes negative every time you use a martial arts spell, use a heavy attack, or dodge, and it goes up whenever you hit somebody. So like if you do the light attack, heavy attack, you're just going to end up slowly going negative on your spirit meter as you jump away from them. Like it has you actually, and it's actually kind of a cool thing. So like if you're really aggressive in Bloodborne-esque style, I see you shaking your head over there, Adam.
I can't. It's too much thinking. I just want to buy, mash, and kill bad guys.
That's all you really got to do. Except it's like Bloodborne, where like if you try and step back, you're going to get punished for it, right? Like you can't dance around people like you can in a Souls game. Like no, you just got to keep whacking the hell out of them, and then when you see shit start to glow, use your special attacks, do a bunch of stuff, and then every time you deflect, your bar goes up too. So it does make you play a certain way, and it seems to be an antithesis of the way that Tony was talking about. Like, it feels like they specifically went out and be like, okay, what does everybody do? Light attack, heavy attack, dodge, come back, rinse and repeat.
Did you try it in co-op? Did he try it in co-op? And does it throw more enemies at you? Any difference, or it's just the same?
No, I mean, you're supposed to play through the main game with NPC people helping you anyway. Like you can always sum it up to two. So even if you're not playing online, you're like a lot of times the story will put you with characters, and like never been a huge like fan of the Three Kingdoms story, to be real honest. Like to me it just seems convoluted and weird and really tough to follow. But this actually did a pretty good job. Like it definitely put like a demonic there's an evil Taoist giving people the elixir of life, which is turning them into demons, and he's running a demon army, and like, cool. But the story actually on it was really dope. I found myself like, don't care killing things, don't care killing things, don't care killing. Oh, I actually guess I do care about those guys, and I do care about that. Don't you dare fucking kill that guy. And fuck you, Lubu. So by the time I got to the end, I was like, I had to get this, big cinematic climactic moment that, I'll be real honest, like it hit me a little bit more in the feels than your average game did.
Oh wow!
Right, like the last time I got that kind of feeling was probably the samurai game, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah,
Ghost of, it kind of gave me that kind of vibe. Is that this feels like a big epic conclusion. It was dope, and I didn't get the fatigue. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times as I'm going through a game, like 3/4 of the way, I'm like, I feel it coming in the home stretch, and I kind of feel the fatigue coming on a little bit. Like this one, not like I just kind of like, as I was playing the last mission, I was like, oh shit, am I on the last mission? Like shit is feeling pretty high stakes right now. I don't know how we can get much more climax than this. But yeah, man, it was well paced. It was fun. I can see where you can just Dark Souls the fuck out of it, play it over and over and over again, looking for drops and building weapons that you like and making certain builds. And the game lets you freely respec and do all that stuff, so it fully encourages that. It was really interesting. It was neat playing a game that didn't have the standard, here's your dex, here's your strength, here's your blah, blah, blah. It tried a lot of new ideas. It tried a whole new fighting system. And for the most part, it works, man. Like I'd say it's a solid B+ title.
nice.
It's definitely a little under budget. It's not a God of War kind of budget. It definitely has menus that you go through and you menu into it. So it kind of almost has that little bit more of a Dynasty Warriors vibe to it, somewhere in the middle. You're like, here's the stage, level 1, stage 2, and I'm going to go do that one. Then I'm going to do this other one so I get some iron to upgrade my armor because I'm getting my ass kicked by this giant crab demon. So, pretty cool. I recommend it for anybody who's been able to play through a Souls game, which I think is most of us at this point. I think slowly but surely the world has gotten good because Elden Ring had such a high saturation. I think it really showed me at least that if you're willing to stick it out, most people I think can get through these. It's up to your level of patience, not skill.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly right. Good to know about the Three Kingdoms stuff because I never cared for the Three Kingdoms stuff. So if it makes it interesting, that's kind of intriguing because I've never cared for that stuff. Sorry, Riku.
It's normally so dry, and like in the beginning of it is definitely dry too. But like as you start to get recurring characters, they're like, oh, I know these guys. These are the guys that are looking for their brother, and like there's a couple times where the game does some fucked up shit. You're like, no, don't do that. The fuck you doing that for? Kind of an Adam Smasher moment. Also, throw in there, I had a couple friends over and we played Gang Beasts. That game is fucking weird.
It is weird. You can throw them off of like scaffold things.
It's this kind of ragdoll pup. Like it reminds me of some of those like WASD games where like you're trying to run the jogger, but like nothing works right, so you end up just flopping around all half retarded. It's kind of like that, except you're all playing these kind of ragdoll physics characters that are just trying to beat the shit out of each other and throw each other off the ledge of a fighting arena. But it's really weird, like one button controls one arm and another controls another arm, and one button bends down at the waist, another button grabs things. So like you actually have to walk up and like use your right arm, then spin and use your left arm, and then lean down, press the grab button, stand up, press the button that raises your arms up, run towards the ledge, and throw like it. It's weird, but it's actually kind of fun.
There's like the train station, and you could throw the guys on the train tracks. There's the one with the sharks that when you're on a boat.
The boat's going down. Yeah,
and the sharks jumping on the boat, eating people.
Yeah, and it's so ridiculously hard to control reliably, and it just most of the time degrades into like, a person knocking somebody out and they lift them to go throw them off, but the person on top then grabs the person on the bottom and they end up wrestling around. Like I laughed a lot while I was playing the game, like out loud, not just kind of like snicker. Like, this is just fucking ridiculous. It's completely retarded, and I kind of love it. So if you're looking for a stupid game to play, particularly while y'all are drinking with some friends, I recommend you give it a try. It's surprisingly fun.
Good stuff. Brian, have you been playing anything lately?
I haven't played shit.
Damn.
No, I got nothing.
I was thinking of Spaceballs when he said that. I ain't playing shit.
By the way, Manny,
Thank you.
you know
Thank you,
that's
man.
Tuvok? I didn't know that was
Yeah,
Tuvok.
that's Tuvok. Yep, that's Tuvok.
Yeah, we ain't found shit.
No, not been playing anything cool. Again, just this week was anime week and dealing with house stuff, so not had time.
Fair enough. All right, we are done here. I'm guessing we have nothing to plug at the moment, right?
Not on our end. Like the I Am Negan Walking Dead stuff, still waiting. More news coming out, about dates, but nothing relevant. It'll come back and then it'll flood, and that'll be great because we'll have Fear the Walking Dead in Dead City and stuff. But right now, it's a ghost town for that. Dum-dum.
All right, cool. All right, so we're done, man. Another good show. You already know. By the way, no more blue check mark for your boy. Elon he made good on his threat. Yeah, it's gone, man.
You're one of us now?
Yeah, I'm one of the plebes again, and I'm like, good riddance. Now maybe I'll have less idiots coming after me,
Did they still want to charge, or did they remove it for everyone?
No, they remove it for everyone, and if you want it back, you got to pay for it.
You got to pay.
And I say, fuck that. I'm not paying shit, It ain't worth it for that. I've always said that blue check mark was a fucking bullseye, man. I never got as much hate until I got that fucking thing, So whatever. It's all good in the hood. But now you can make fun of people who do have a blue check mark. Like, oh, you paid for it, you fucking asshole, So,
you paying for clout.
Yeah, you playing for clout, yeah. It's hilarious, man. All right, anyway, make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Join the Discord, where the conversations and the rumors are always popping. And again, thank you to all the guys on Discord who always post stories, because I get all the stories that we talk about on the show from you guys. So thank you for that. You can find Throwdown on any podcast app on the planet by searching for Throwdown Show. That's 2 words, Throwdown Show. Throwdownshow.com to listen to previous episodes. And if you have been watching us on YouTube and enjoyed the content, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of when our premieres go live. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
And Brian Manjoma.
Bye-bye, BuzzFeed News.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's over. All right, people. We'll see you on Sunday. Later.